For over 35 years, the Cacciatore family has provided state-of-the-art auto collision repairs. V&J Auto Body is not only certified to repair all makes and models, V&J is one of the few auto body repair shops certified by Tesla to repair and recalibrate their own automobiles, as well as other electric and hybrid vehicles. Detailed repairs combined with award-winning concierge service makes V&J the only choice for your collision repair needs. V&J will pick up your automobile wherever on Long Island you are, provide you with a rental, and deliver your vehicle when the job is complete. Too good to be true? Visit VJAutobody.com. That's VJAutobody.com. Come over and meet the crew. VJ Auto Body's 2 state-of-the-art facilities are equipped with the latest technologies in auto repair. Let V&J communicate with your insurance company for you and deliver back to you a detailed, perfectly repaired vehicle. Contact V&J Auto Body by visiting VJAutobody.com or call 631-226-0070. That's 631-226-0070. Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is Peter Krause, your humble host of Crash Course Radio. Welcome. Another lovely day out there today. This nice weather just continues. I don't know about you, but I absolutely love this time of the year, especially when summer hangs on. And it's nice, right? Because you get the nice weather and you get the sunshine, but we're not getting the blazing temperatures either. So hopefully this continues right on, and maybe they'll just forget about winter. That would be nice, but I doubt that that's going to happen. Anyway, yes, so I am Peter Krause. I'm the owner and founder of Collision Services Network. All right, thanks for stopping by. And this is, of course, Crash Course Radio, right here on 103.9. This is a live show. So if you'd like to opine today or talk to me here in the studio, and we're also going to have a special guest with us here today, and we'll get to that in just a minute, all right? 631-451-1039. 631-451-1039. Hey, I want to start by saying a lot going on, right? We talk about how the show's been evolving, how Collision Services Network continues to evolve. All right, and we're excited to let everybody know out there, all right, that we are now able to be heard on Spotify. Okay. Now, I am no technocrat here, but my young engineer is smiling at me through the glass in the studio. All right. So that's a good thing. Okay. From what I understand, it's kind of like a podcast type of thing. So if you're into that, cool. Check us out over there. We are now on Spotify. We have just been officially listed on APN Voice Search Network. Okay. So if you guys are, about Siri and Alexa, do this, Alexa, do that. Well, guess what? Now, if you're looking for a body shop, insurance, or anything like that, I understand that that's the way people are going. They don't even want to be bothered with Googling anymore. They just want to be able to say, I need this and I need that, and bam, something pops up. All right? So we are now officially part of that. We're excited about that. All right? We continue to engage our listeners during and after the show, helping numerous people. All right? We offer guidance, solutions, and advice to many folks. Our mantra, of course, right? If you've been a frequent listener, thank you very much. If you're just stopping by today, you're turning the dial and you're hearing my voice and saying, who the heck is this guy? Well, welcome to the show. All right, stay tuned. And if you continue to listen, I guarantee you're going to be the smartest person in the room when it comes to all matters concerning collision, insurance, personal injury, and also insurance products. All right, and many other things. All right, but you know the mantra, folks. We give you information you need and can use and advice you can trust. Speaking of knowledge and information that you can use, we have a special guest today in the studio here with us, Mike Todisco. Mike, welcome to the show. We're real excited to have Mike here. Mike's going to be speaking with us here in a minute on some very interesting stuff, all right? If you have high school age kids or grandkids, all right, that are in high school, maybe even junior high, or you own an auto body shop, guys, if you're in the auto body industry, all right, and you're listening to my voice, all right, you got to stay tuned here, right? Real important stuff that Mike's going to be talking about. It directly impacts our industry. It also impacts the education system here across Long Island. And what Mike will share with us today will be of great significance. Mike embraced an idea and concept, all right, whose time literally has come. All right. I know that sounds a little cliche. Mike's laughing over there. I'm sure he's heard that before. But folks, Mike has introduced through his company a concept that dates back literally to ancient times. All right. Sadly, in this country, all right, I'm sure Mike can contribute to this more down the road here in our conversation. For some reason, it's a concept that's died a deliberate death here in America. All right. It might exist in some form or fashion in some particular industries, to a limited sense, but it's by and large a a concept that just isn't, it's not embraced anymore. Now, it is in other parts of the world, all right, and they do that very successfully. All right, but Mike has introduced to his company a concept that dates back ancient times. While this concept may seem novel here, okay, in America, and certainly, of course, that includes Long Island, other countries have embraced it for decades, most with very good results, with positive outcomes for society, all right, as well as business. All right, Mike's company offers a solution, okay, which cuts both ways, folks. All right, it helps improve societies, all right, and it also improves the business world as well. All right, this idea, which involves passing along skills and knowledge to others to include education, is known as apprenticeship. I know some people are probably scratching their head going, all that to get to that word, apprenticeship, right, Mike?
That's right.
Yeah. All right. But you might be scratching your head laughing, but when you think about it, have you heard of it? Does it get mentioned in educational circles? You go to a Board of Education meeting, a PTA meeting, meet the teacher night?
Nope.
BOCES program, anything like that. Does anybody talk about apprenticeship? What do you think, Mike?
The answer is no.
Yeah, the answer is no. That's Mike. We're going to get to Mike just a second. Yeah, Mike's got a big grin on his face because he's got a lot more answers to that problem. Apprenticeship Connections and Consulting Corporation, which facilitates this concept. I'm sorry. Let me just go back. Let me pick up where I left off on that. We got off on a tangent. It was just too much to swallow there when I said the word. It was too funny. Well, for the past 8 years now, Mike has created a company, all right? It's Apprenticeship Connections Consulting Corp, all right, which facilitates this concept, all right, with private and public partnerships across many business sectors. Now, folks, what we're going to ask Mike here today is to analyze the auto body industry here on Long Island, right? We're facing a tremendous dilemma here. And a lot of guys out there, guys that are in the business, if you're hearing my voice and you're listening, all right, you should be nodding your head agreeing with me right now, right? One of the number one problems, whether you really want to admit it or not, okay, you're going to have to admit it, is where are we getting the people to fix the cars? All right? They're not making any more people when it comes to this type of industry, okay? And we can't import them, folks. Can't go down to the south of the border and wait for people to show up and say, hey, I'm an auto body guy. It's not happening. All right, so we need a more effective demonstrated approach to solving a very serious problem here in our industry. Now, I'm sure this affects Mike's been involved with many other industries, all right, but we're talking about the auto body industry here, all right, and and this is a real problem, right? You guys are listening, you hear my voice. Hopefully, you guys are out there in the auto body industry. Hello, all right. We need to find people, folks, right? We need to get people we can rely on, people that we can grow in the business, that we can pass skills along to, all right, and that we can groom for the industry. Right? Where is the future of this industry going to be 10 years from now? I don't know. If we can't get people to work, forget about technology and machines. All right. So when we come back, we will hear from Mike and learn more about his success and challenges. All right. And if this ancient business model can work in the collision industry here on Long Island. All right. I don't know. Can it work? Mike's grinning over there. I'm hoping that grin means that he thinks it can and he's got some ideas for us. All right, because listen, as I tell you every Tuesday afternoon, folks, I'm not just a talking head or an academic, right? I'm actually somebody that works in this industry. I'm doing this every day. I work in V&J Auto Body. It's a very 21st century oriented modern shop, all right? Tremendous shop, over a 20,000 square foot production facility, 15,000 square foot customer area and customer service and detail and inspection center. So, we have positioned our shop, okay, in that sense, to meet the future. And that's great. But guess what component, which is really amazing to me, because the one component that we all need to actually make all these other little things work are people. Without people, folks, it doesn't happen. All right? There's no super robot coming out of the automatrons yet or anything like that. Forget the movies. Forget all the stuff you hear and read about in Sci-Fi magazine. It ain't happening yet. Okay? Simple fact is we need good people that are skilled, all right? And this is a skill, right? We work in this industry. We know that auto body is a skill. It's a craft. It's a talent. And it can be a learned talent, all right? It can be something that is imparted to somebody else, but there needs to be a process. And that process doesn't really exist. Yeah, are there BOCES and everything? Yeah, I went to BOCES, all right? But you wouldn't hire me with forearms. All right, I went to BOCES back in the early 90s. You wouldn't hire me with 4 arms and 3 legs, all right? Even if I told you I was the greatest painter and auto body guy. Just ain't happening, all right? If at best, the BOCES approach and the technical schools, it was a disjointed approach, folks. And it certainly, as far as I could see, it never parlayed into anything for the auto body side. All right. So we could do better than that. All right. And that's why when we come back, we're real excited to jump into it head first with Mike. All right. And we're going to start talking to him in more detail about this. And he's going to let us know how he's solved this problem in other industries and how he thinks he can help make it happen in the auto body industry. All right. So stay with us and we will see you on the other side of the break.
The low rider is a little higher.
All right, there's that great music from the 70s, the Lowrider, right? If everybody's as old as I am, you know what the Lowrider is, all right? That was a pretty cool car. It could actually go up and down. Some pretty wild stuff to see. Hey, 631-451-1039, 631-451-1039 puts you in touch with little old me and our guest, Mike Todisco, who is live in the studio here, and we're going to hear from him in just a minute. Hey, remember, folks, we're having more fun than any one person should be legally able to do here at Crash Course Radio, and we're doing it every Tuesday afternoon live, 3 to 4, in the wonderful studios of 103.9. And my engineer is going to kill me if I'm be remiss if I don't mention this again. All right, we are on Spotify. Yes. All right, so you techno people out there, Spotify. I think it's a podcast type of thing, and pretty psyched. All right, it's another evolution for Collision Services Network. Thank you, Anthony, for his hard work. And we continue to evolve and move forward, and that's good. It's good for the folks, right? The folks like you out there that I get to talk to every Tuesday afternoon and help out. All right, and we continue to do that, and Spotify gives us another way to reach out to you folks and continue to do what we do best. All right, so now welcome, Mike, to Crash Course Radio. Well, let's hear about who you are, your background, and your work experience. Mike, take it away.
First off, thank you very much, Peter, for having me here. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And I do want a quick plug to V&J Auto Body. I am a client as well. Great work.
All right. There you go, folks.
So, yes, Michael Todisco, a lifer born and raised North Shore of Long Island, Generation Xer for those. So I'm in my 40s. And I get it, right? You're born on Long Island back in the late 80s, early 90s. And the first and only thing you had to do was go to college. Had to be the first fan.
Amen to that, brother. I'm 1980 graduate. Yep, college.
So, and I share this story with you because, again, full circle. So, first one in my family to be a college graduate. Very proud of that. Went to SUNY Buffalo. But the point of the story, of course, being is that you come out with your marketing degree, and after about maybe 10 months, you're like, oh my God, shoot me.
Right.
I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this the rest of my life.
Yeah. Not to mention the bank loan that's right behind you. Right?
Seriously.
That's fine.
But you know what? The bank loan 22 years ago wasn't as bad as it is today.
Yeah.
Again,
you're not kidding.
Why I do what I do. The path is very convoluted, and unfortunately, I was not given a clear-cut career path after the marketing degree. I wanted to make money. I thought I knew everything because in your early 20s, you think you always know everything.
Right.
Working with friends, bad idea. Working in the city, not the greatest idea either. And again, many mistakes made along the way until the late 2011. While selling copy machines, I got introduced to an organization that advocated for non-union commercial construction companies. Now, again, being born in the North Shore, you not even knew there was non-union commercial construction. Who knew of anything besides just union construction?
Right.
Because my high school didn't really focus on any kind of trades. Another plug for later on. Because it was all about college, taking whatever necessary to go to college. So this organization that advocated for non-union commercial construction companies, I got an opportunity to be their membership director. And as a membership director, your job is to get new members, retain members, plan events, deal local advocacy, and help them with their apprenticeship program. And my first words to people were, "What is an apprenticeship
There
program?"
you go. All right, now Mike's admitting that. All right, here's a guy. Right, same thing. Apprenticeship. What the heck? I read about that in the colonial days in history.
So funny, because that's usually the two things I tell people.
Oh,
right?
no.
When you go, I ask people all the time, "What's an apprenticeship program?" It's usually the union construction thing, which is only union construction.
Right.
Or I go, it's like, "Oh, remember back in those days when there was movies of the ancient times and medieval times? There's an old guy who's going to teach someone, that young kid, how to make that sword or
Right.
the armor. That's your apprentice."
Correct.
I was like, okay, well, so I was pretty much thrown into the deep end, and I could either sink or swim. And I swam, and I sat on every single meeting with every single business. I sat with the Department of Labor. I oversaw a vocational school out in Ronkonkoma. We had about 11 different classes, 60 different students. And, looking at this model, you're looking at individuals that are either high school dropouts or high school graduates, and they're really pursuing a career path that they enjoy, and they're happy, and they're making money. This was great.
That's awesome.
And it was just like, it's glad to see that you're making a difference in these individuals' lives.
Right. And also, folks, often an alternative to the, to like Mike said, right, which is the die-in-the-wool answer to everything is go to college.
A lot of these kids were not college bound, or college was not on their radar whatsoever.
Right. And where would they end up then?
Exactly.
Who knows?
I don't know, but they're on a career path now, and I saw many of individuals before the age of 30 making $100,000 a year in the commercial construction industry.
That's true, and that's another misnomer that's promoted out there by the academic world, folks. Right? And listen, I'm talking to the folks out there now, right? If you got school age kids, high school, whatever, and they're looking down the road, what am I going to do with my life? Listen to Mike. All right, Mike's talking about a real alternative here. All right, real alternative to the usual, which is go to college, get into debt, and then get out and get a piece of paper like everybody else and basically stand in line and hope you get a job making $10 an hour. I'm sorry, right? Is that really what it's coming down to?
It's basically.
All right, and what are we left with? We're left with a lot of holes, folks, in things that we desperately need as a society. The trades. The trades are dying in this country. Is that true, Mike?
It is true, and I think it was around 2017. So I've been doing it about 3-4 years, seeing all these individuals go through this process and be successful. And now this is about 20 years, close to 20 years after I've graduated college. So things have changed. The landscape has changed. Right. So I'm sitting here watching these individuals go through these construction programs at the same time. Newsday, Channel 12 News, Fios 1 News. I see Billy, who just graduated from a large university, and he's in $50,000 in debt, and he's living in his parents' basement. And he's going to leave Long Island because he can't find a job, because no employer is going to hire someone with a communications degree or a liberal arts degree. And again, no disrespect. And again, I had a marketing degree, so I get it. But something changed. It wasn't just get a college degree and you're guaranteed a job anymore.
Right.
So my thing was, well, why doesn't Billy know about apprenticeship programs? Because no one is going out there and spreading the word and telling people about this, both on the employer side or on the individual candidate or a graduate coming out of high school. If no one knows about it, how can it not be an option? And you hit the nail on the button before, man. Europe, South Africa, Asia, this is the norm.
Right.
It is high school, apprenticeship program, and then potentially college. That's the norm there. We are the only country, and again, no disrespect for internships. I did an internship also. There are some benefits to internships, but we are really just focusing on college.
Correct.
Correct.
And folks, listen, the proof is in the pudding, the old saying there. And in the auto body industry, I can speak directly to this. Okay, for somebody who grew up in a very middle income town, Brentwood, Long Island. All right, we had most of our people were blue collar. Right, I hate labeling everybody blue collar, middle income, and all this stuff. But it's for conversational purposes. It fits. So that was me, man. I mean, we had welders, people worked in delis and everything, and people that did vocational work and stuff like that, construction, and that was all good work. I mean, that was looked upon as good work. I mean, if you were doing a job like that, that was great. It was productive. It was constructive. You earned a living, right? You made a good living. And that, like Mike said, that changed. That whole rubric was purposely changed to almost, I would say, Mike, it's actually in the extreme now, where if somebody turns around and says, I don't know if I really want to go to college, I'm interested in using my hands, and it's almost like the whole room just becomes silent. You want to use your hands. It
used to be, and I share this with you, in the last maybe year, especially after COVID now.
Okay.
I think the school districts some of the school districts, and again, the guidance counselors within the school districts, and maybe they want to promote it, but the guidance counselors who are really getting involved in these students' lives and realizing like college can't be the only option.
Oh, okay.
And again, it's not mainstream yet.
Right.
Yet, and that is a goal of mine. But if you really want to help every single student, there is going to be a certain percentage. And again, with the cost of colleges being what they are, why should every single individual go into so much debt to still not know what they want to get themselves into?
Right. Hey, folks, we're coming up on the end of this segment. This is a real stimulating conversation with Mike, and we're going to continue that and get into more details about what exactly it is that Mike's company can do for the auto body industry, all right, and how he can apply what he's already applied in other industries successfully to our industry, all right, and more information on how he does the partnerships with the federal and state agencies and Department of Labor and stuff like that, all right? So stick around. We're going to continue our conversation with Mike Todisco here at Crash Course Radio, having more fun than anyone should be legally allowed. All right, I'll see you on the other side of the break. For over 35 years, the Cacciatore family has provided state-of-the-art auto collision repairs. V&J Auto Body is not only certified to repair all makes and models, V&J is one of the few auto body repair shops certified by Tesla to repair and recalibrate their automobiles, as well as other electric and hybrid vehicles. Detailed repairs combined with award-winning concierge service makes V&J the only choice for your collision repair needs. V&J will pick up your automobile wherever on Long Island you are, provide you with a rental, and deliver your vehicle when the job is complete. Too good to be true? Visit VJAutobody.com. That's VJAutobody.com. Come over and meet the crew. VJ Auto Body's 2 state-of-the-art facilities are equipped with the latest technologies in auto repair. Let V&J communicate with your insurance company for you and deliver back to you a detailed, perfectly repaired vehicle. Contact V&J Auto Body by visiting VJAutobody.com or call 631-226-0070. That's 631-226-0070. Okay, welcome back to Crash Course Radio with your humble host, Peter Krausch, and our amazing guest, Mike Todisco of Apprenticeship Connections Corporation. We're real psyched to have Mike in the studio here. Mike is talking to us about real solutions to real problems, specifically, in general. I mean, because I think Long Island in general could benefit from this across all industry sectors. But we specifically here are asking Mike to see if he could apply his business model to the auto body industry, which suffers gravely from a lack of skilled labor and a lack of a labor pool to draw from, right? And to impart the skills and these talents that are definitely needed, folks, right? Because let's face it, we're asked to fabricate things, repair things, correct things, all right, and replace things as well. And this is a skill and it's a craft, all right? And it's very difficult to get people to come into this industry, to motivate them. So, Mike has been working in this field for quite a while, and he's gonna apply some solutions here to the problem that we're facing in the auto body industry. All right, and listen, I would be remiss if I didn't also mention again that we are once again on Spotify. All right, so like I said, we keep evolving here at Crash Course Radio as well as CollisionServiceNetwork.com. Please go to CollisionServiceNetwork.com for all your needs, especially if you're looking for a competent professional auto body shop that's going to represent your interests and not the interests of the insurance companies. Because here at Crash Course Radio, we frustrate the heck out of the insurance guys with one arm tied behind our back. So, Mike, we were talking at the end of the segment about apprenticeship, all right? So what exactly is an apprenticeship program?
Perfect. Let's start right there, right? So apprenticeship program. So what is an apprenticeship program? I guess the best case of an example is an internship, which we all know what internships are. Internships are very vague, though. They're 3, 6, 9 months. Sometimes they're paying. Sometimes they're not paying. Sometimes it's grunt work, get photocopies, right? It's just giving that individual exposure to a workforce environment, but really, again, too vague and too general for a very short period of time. Apologize. So an apprenticeship program, though, is taking an individual and putting them through a customized, focused, structured training program that, again, customized by the employer, so it is case-by-case basis, on-the-job training as well as classroom education. And the on-the-job training component here isn't 3, 6, 9 months. We're talking about years, right? To expose that individual to every single aspect, scenario, situation in that craft or trade. Because at the end of this process, we want them to become a well-versed, well-trained employee with that company.
Absolutely.
And they are paid a salary day one. So this is not like, hey, you're going to do this for free. So that apprentice knows that I'm going to get paid a salary, so a 40-hour work week, right, making some decent money, and that employer is going to invest. And that's a big difference between apprenticeship and internship. Apprenticeship programs, the employer is investing in that apprentice, right? So there's going to be a guaranteed wage increase, and that employer is going to pay to send that person to a school, whether it be a post-secondary school. As I mentioned before, with the way things are going with college, some individuals can't afford college.
Right.
But if that employer comes to you and say, hey, I'm going to send you to Suffolk Community College or SUNY Farmingdale, and you're going to have the opportunity to take some college classes so you could actually be exposed to that universe, like that's investing.
Okay.
Right? So you're taking an individual and now you're going to do these programs for 3, 4, 5 years in length. And that, again, is going to improve workforce retention because that individual is more than likely not going to leave if you're investing in that individual.
Right.
So that's a huge plus. And again, to learn a craft or trade. Most people think, okay, plumber, electrical, carpentry, those are union construction trades, right? 67 construction trades. What most people do not realize, in New York State alone, there's 173 different career paths or trades that they can get into. 10 alone in just automotive. So there are 10 career paths that an individual who has an interest in being in automotive can go into these training programs, customized and focused by that employer, so they could actually have a career path in, repair, painting, mechanics, service tech, diesel engine, and so forth. I mean, these are career paths.
Right.
That's the idea, is to give them their interest and show them a career path.
All right, folks. So if to my auto body friends out there that are listening, okay, or if you're listening and you know somebody that's in the auto body industry, all right, please tell them to reach out, and we'll give them more particulars here on the air how to reach out to Mike. But folks, if you're listening to this, all right, what I'm hearing is this is a deliberate, all right, coordinated, all right, program, all right, or approach to basically at least opening the opportunity to the possibility of getting new employees. Okay. And again, if Mike, if I read this right, because I know a lot of the European models work like this. So
right.
the kids come in, right? The high school kids, maybe they start 10th grade and they go through 11th and 12th. And then at the end, both the employer, okay, and the employee have the opportunity to, accept and vice versa, offer employment or accept employment, that type of thing here.
So let me just correct you right there. So what's great about this apprenticeship program, there's 3 basic parameters.
Okay.
Be above the age of 17 or older, and then be able to work a full-time job.
Okay.
Because this isn't something where you can only put 20 hours of work. That's why usually after senior, if someone's in high school, when you graduate high school, work 35 to 40-hour work week and have legal documentation to work in the country.
Okay.
Again, you don't have to be a citizen. If you're legally able to work here, those are the 3 parameters. You could be a 40-year-old apprentice, a 35-year-old apprentice. You could be a new hire. You could take someone else in a different department, an incumbent worker with your company
right.
that you see potential in, and go, hey, you've been here for a year, 2 years, you've been a helper, or whatever the case may be. I want to give you the opportunity to learn a career. You're telling me that worker who's already been with you for a year, so he likes working for you.
Okay.
To put him into a career path, and maybe send him to school and send him to the amount of pride that individual is going to be like, I work for a company that really sees potential in me.
Right. No, I agree. It's usually a win-win for both the employer and the employee. All right, folks, and this is what we're talking about here. And again, Mike is talking about a broad spectrum of industries, but we're focused on the auto body industry because this is quickly, if not, it has already been, it's quickly becoming a very serious issue. All right, and whether you want to admit that or not, okay, I can tell you firsthand because, like I said, I'm not just an academic. I work in this business, and it's a challenge for V&J. All right, I work there. All right, and we are a big shop with a lot of people. All right, and it's great that we get a lot of cars and we have a lot of customers, and all this is great. And Mike's shaking his head, but guess what? If I don't have people, good people, quality, reliable people, talented, skilled people to fix the cars, paint the cars, put the car. Doesn't matter what everything else I'm doing. I could have the fanciest equipment, the fanciest technology, the prettiest building, all this stuff, and I got 3 people standing behind me. I'm dead. Like, I got problems. All right. So what Mike is offering here is a solution to that problem. Okay, and what I'm hearing, all right, what I'm hearing from Mike is there's a big difference there. What Mike just said. If I'm wrong, Mike, about it, that what he was highlighting is the difference between an intern and an apprentice. Right? I think what I was leaning on, I was more of an intern. Like I was saying, you take them in 10th, 11th grade, and you stick them in there for 2 hours a day, and they sweep the floor.
Yeah, no.
And that's kind of what I think BOCES, unfortunately, I think that's what BOCES ended up being. It really never ended up.
No, instead of the word internship, I'm a big fan of pre-apprenticeship, right? Because it's exposing you to what this potential program can, and if you don't like it, great. Then you've nipped it in the bud early on.
Right.
But in an apprenticeship program is you're hiring an individual, day one, paying them a salary because they're an employee of your company. And the goal as you, as the employer or the employer, is to invest in that individual and provide them with a mentorship and an education. Like you're going to class, whether it be at a SUNY school or some other vocational school, and you're learning mathematics skills, blueprints. I'm trying to blank on other trades, but it's not going to.
Well, in the auto body industry, it would be teaching them. I mean, listen, what I talk about here on the show all the time is how these cars have changed, the manufacturing of these vehicles. Right, some of these vehicles have 4 or 5 different types of materials, so you can't just be a guy that was standing on a street corner, that used to fix things in his backyard. It's not going to work anymore. Simply not going to fly, folks. Right? We know that. Come on. So how are we going to develop these people that are going to have the type of skill base that we need to address these issues? We're talking about technology packages here. Go ahead. Finish up.
Reading schematics, wiring and ignition diagrams, technical manuals, decimals, metric systems, fundamentals of mechanics. These are classes that they're being exposed to become a well-versed, well-trained employee.
That's great. Folks, listen, all right, especially to my auto body friends out there, all right, and as well, the public, all right, when you have school-age kids. All right, we're going to continue this conversation with Mike. It's very interesting, all right? We're going to drill down into this a little deeper, all right, and find out what programs Mike can put employers in touch with, all right, whether it's federal, state, and how they can form partnerships and how they can help each other and help you. All right, so we'll see you guys in a little bit here on the other side of the break.
Low rider, drives a little slower.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to Crash Course Radio. Here live 3 to 4 every Tuesday afternoon, and we are live right now in the studio with our amazing guest, Mike Todisco of Apprenticeship Connections Corporation. Mike's company is leading the way in finding new solutions to old problems, right? Developing talent and finding good people to fill important jobs and positions across American business sectors. And none other than our own sector here, which is the auto body industry. Okay, it seems to be something that's desperately needed as a service, right? Everybody's getting in accidents, but nobody seems to really pay attention to much of the industry, which is, obviously becoming a serious issue for us in the business on where we're going to find new people. So, welcome back. And like I said, we're talking to Mike. The collision industry across Long Island faces many challenges, right? It appears that finding good talent in the workforce is quickly becoming the number one problem. And I feel that Mike's company is exactly what our industry needs. All right, we simply need to offer an alternative to the old go to college and get a degree model. All right, Mike touched on that early on. All right, so Mike, getting back to our conversation about apprenticeships, what is a sponsor? How do you become a sponsor? And what are the public-private partnerships that you might be able to facilitate to help these folks in the auto body industry here in Long Island?
Perfect question. So a sponsor is either an individual business or possibly a group sponsor is a bunch of businesses under like a union model, right? So anyone that is actually partaking in this New York State Department of Labor apprenticeship program.
Hold on. All right, folks, he said union model. Mike, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt them, but you got to be sensitive with these guys, Mike. They hear the word union, they're all going to run away. Union model, right? We're not talking about unionizing or anything, guys. Go ahead, Mike.
You're not unionizing, but again, that union model, think about what that union model does, right? It's an individual union, 25, 200, holds up this big umbrella, and 80 companies come underneath it. So if anything, it's more businesses get to reap the benefits of it. And what I love about that model is, and that's why I'm doing it with a lot of different industries, is the business owner has less work to do because now the entity, it doesn't have to be a union, any entity is now taking on the compliance, the auditing, dealing with the Department of Labor. So I get to have you reap all the benefits without having to deal with the Department of Labor. So I've alleviated a lot of stress off of your plate by doing that group sponsor model. Not union, but group sponsor model. But you get to reap the benefits of it. And there's a lot of benefits to take advantage of. I mean, the National Apprenticeship Act of 2020, the federal government is pushing all their chips in. I mean, millions upon millions of dollars to promote, support, and advocate for apprenticeship programs.
And I'm sorry, what was that again, Mike?
The National Apprenticeship Act of 2020.
All right, folks, you hear that? There you go. I had no idea that existed. That's why Mike is here.
That's federal funding.
Okay.
The Apprenticeship Expansion Grant of New York State that reimburses you up to $10,000 for having an apprentice. Right? So you have an apprentice. You're paying him a salary. You get up to $10,000 back
That's phenomenal.
for training someone. That's state. Then on the local level, and I know for a fact many people do not know about this, there are local agencies across Long Island right now that are providing funding for on-the-job training.
Okay.
And there is nothing more structured on-the-job training than an apprenticeship program. So you can get money from 3 different agencies, local, state, and federal, for training someone. And imagine if you took that incumbent worker and put him to this program, now you haven't increased your payroll. You took someone from your existing payroll and put him to a program like this. And last but not least, the SUNY system really wants to get involved in this. So again, I mentioned before,
that's great.
The training of education that employer has to invest by paying for that education. There are programs that can cover that cost as well.
Okay, so we can be clear to our listeners. So your company would help facilitate this happening, right? So we had like ABC Auto Body that said, "Hey, Mike, we're interested in that. We really see the future here. We want to get involved. And your company would step in and help put that in place and help them get off the ground."
Listen, to anyone listening, I get it. You run a business and you run a very difficult, stressful business. You are good at what you do, fixing cars.
Right.
I'm good at what I do. I streamline the process. I make it as stress-free as possible. I ensure that you get to train your workforce because I've been doing this for almost 10 years now. I know the process the New York State Department of Labor is looking for. I know the different, connections, and that's why it's called Apprenticeship Connections. I make the connections. If you need connections, finding funding, I got it. You want to find different options for schooling, I got it. You want to find students, I can't find anyone to be my apprentice. There are many high schools right now, and I could share with you the list of them, that are starting to incorporate automotive back into their curriculum. The BOCES, as much as we yay or nay on BOCES, but guess what? Taking an individual out of BOCES who understands some of the basic fundamentals, the tools, the equipment, that again, an individual who has no clue,
right?
But now go to them and say, listen, you're going to come out of BOCES, but I'm going to train you. I'm going to invest in you. I'm going to put you into a training program and pay for the next 3 or 4 years, give you a guaranteed wage increase, and send you to SUNY Suffolk. Who wouldn't sign up for that?
That is, I tell you, folks, do you hear this? I mean, this is listen, this is something, I mentioned to Mike off the air that ironically, this was something I actually did a paper on in an MBA class many years back, and we addressed just this issue. And I thought it was, ironic that, Mike and I crossed paths at V&J Auto Body, and his company was addressing this entire issue. So what I'm hearing, folks, here is, not only is it beneficial to our industry, but it's obviously a benefit to your business. All right. So if you're one of these guys listening and you're saying, "Wow, you know what? This might actually be something I should take a look at," I think you should be taking a look at. Like Mike said, you're in the business to make money. The only way you make money is you have to have good people behind you. All right. Without people, all right, well-trained people, reliable people, all right, the other things are just not going to fall into place.
So I've partnered up, and I apologize for cutting you off, but I just want, because of time.
Yeah,
I
go
did
right
partner up with Dr. Sabrina Oliver from the Ojai Foundation to be that entity. So we have decided together that we're going to be that entity to businesses like yours, all the automotive industries, right? All those repair shops out there that go, I like this, but I don't have the time and energy.
Right.
Dr. Oliver is going to lead this automotive apprenticeship programs by taking on that entity so that she could be the one handling the compliance, deal with the auditing, deal with the Department of Labor head on, so you don't have to worry about it. But we could still help you access the funding and implement these training programs, because implementing these training programs, especially for the automotive industry, is the most important goal of all.
So, Mike, we got about a little under 3 minutes here. So, how do the folks get a hold of you? How do they reach out to you to get involved and have your company come down, or you come down and kickstart everything for them if they're interested?
So the best thing to do, like I said, thankfully, there isn't that many Michael Todiscos out there. So if you Googled Michael Todisco, that works. Another way is do it Apprenticeship Connections. Again, Google Apprenticeship Connections. I got a great situation going that I don't have to pay for it, but I'm always the top one on top of the Google search.
Okay.
Under Contact Us, there's going to be two options, either employer or individual, because I do like to help young individuals try to find paths into apprenticeship programs as well.
That's terrific.
But if you hit Contact Us, from there, I will reach out to you and send you an interest form, and then a meeting will be set up, and we just go over the specifics. Make sure I answer all your questions or concerns, because again, it is a lot. But I will want to share with you one other last thing. If you don't start realizing you need to make a change, the existing experienced worker out there does not exist. So training your workforce is really the only option. And it might be a little scary, it might be a little different, but that is why myself and the Ojai Foundation are here to really, especially your industry, walk you through that process and go over every single benefit and advantage so you could start implementing this and start training people. Workforce development is so important.
All right, folks, you hear what Mike said, right? He said the people of the future, okay, the people that we need, that we're looking for, they don't exist. Sorry to say, all right? So we have to make that happen. We have to create that, all right? And Mike's company is leading the way in that and giving us solutions to do that, all right? And like I said, in the auto body industry, this is a real problem, all right? So reach out to Mike, all right, and his company, Apprenticeship Connections Corporation, all right, and find out how you can get involved and how you can help your business and your industry. And, let's start creating a future workforce right now today. All right. I think this is a great idea, a great concept. All right, Mike, I appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you, Peter.
All right. You've definitely enlightened me. All right. And it was very dynamic. I think we got a lot of useful information out there. And folks, reach out to Mike. All right. You can go to his website. It's quite a informative website, Apprenticeship Connections Consulting Corporation. All right. Google that. Get on there. Reach out to Mike. All right, and let's get involved, folks. Let's start helping ourselves, right? Because nobody else is going to help us. All right, Mike's going to offer the solutions and lead the way. All right, we will see you next Tuesday, as always, having more fun than should be allowed and frustrating the heck out of the insurance guys with one arm tied behind my back. I love it. Love doing this. All right, folks, have a good week.